have to go check everything out. We will go look at something right here, associated. But who's the little burrow up there?
The little one.
The little one.
The little bit.
The little bitty.
Old field mouse.
Old field mouse.
Oh wow!
Or miss his notice.
I was
Cool.
just so great. Mouse.
Yeah, seems huge.
Well,
Probably
put
not.
it in perspective though. If you had that guy in hand, he would take up about that much of your hand. So his body is about that big around, and that's the exact size of that hole. So it's about an inch. So cotton mice, or at least what I've seen, theirs are about 1.5 to 2 inches, and they won't have that pronounced apron like what that does. But that's what I've seen.
Old field mouse.
Nick, anything to add to that?
I don't think Dustin covered it.
Sweet, yeah.
Dustin said you can see tracks if you got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Cool.
So, well, that one's not as active as I've seen that exact one in the past. But you could see like a little bit of the tiny tracks where they were coming in and out. But
Yeah, if you look all around, all through there, those little burrows are all over the place. Very cool. Very characteristic sign, I guess. I don't have a whole lot of experience with it. But, and then, Dustin, you want to tell us just a little bit about all your small mammal trapping efforts?
yeah, so.
Oh, we can go look at the snake
Okay.
array. It's right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so when I was the intern at Whaley, one of our, or kind of my thought processes was, we get a lot of captures in these snake arrays we have on property. So a lot of that, you don't catch that many actual herps, which are what they're for, or herptofauna, which is what they're for. What you generally what you catch are small mammals a lot of the time. Sometimes you catch birds, sometimes of course you're catching what you want to catch, lizards and snakes. But so our thought process was, how does that compare with Sherman trapping, like what they traditionally use for small mammal trapping? So we had
So what's a Sherman trap?
Sherman traps are little aluminum boxes that are about that big, that high. They have these little flap doors. And they have a little treadle in the back. They run in, hit the treadle, closes on them. So we did Sherman trapping here. Some of the species, the most common species we captured are hispid cotton rats are by far the most common. They're the most common thing, I think, in the southeast. In the Everglades, they outbreed pythons. That's how robust they are. And we also caught some cotton mice, but for me, I didn't catch many cotton mice up here, but I caught a lot on the south end where you have another snake array. We caught eastern harvest mice, and a way to tell them apart in hand is they have grooved incisors. Another species that has grooved incisors is pocket gophers.
So you just are like, all right, open your mouth.
Well, you can generally look at them and be like, oh, that's a hispid, or that's a.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, generally you do. I just would take my ruler, because I always would measure hind feet, and I'd just push it up until I saw the little grooves. Also caught some golden mice here, which golden mice are more fossorial.
Yeah.
So they make their nest within the tree, and
shouldn't be up here.
yeah, no, it was down over there.
Yeah.
I only caught 2 individuals, and I caught them twice, or like twice a piece, and they're gone.
So why were you catching the animals? I mean, what were you doing with them?
Just trying to compare to see how those captures compared to the snake arrays.
Let's find out.
I wish I could say that I've finished that data stuff. I'm working in grad school now. From what the preliminary analysis I've done, as far as numbers, of course, Sherman traps are far superior at numbers than actual detection. But if you look at just species you're catching both species. So to a degree, they both kind of do all right. But Shermans are the superior method. That's what I would say.
Okay, and what else did you do with the animals?
Oh, I put ear tags in them. So you had little.
And what else did you do with them?
Oh, I ran them through track tubes.
All right.
I was really like, what do you want me to go with this?
So tell us about those.
What's a track tube?
Track tubes. So you should have just asked me to explain my projects I did with you. Gosh. So a track tube is fairly commonly used for predators a lot of the time and other things. But so what we use to kind of downsize it for small mammals is you take a PVC rain gutter, kind of cut it into a foot length, and tape it together on the edges, so that kind of folds over itself and protects it from rain. And it has an aluminum plate in it that we put soot on. Then we get contact paper, which is that shelf liner that you put in your shelves, or your grandma or whatever does. 'Cause that's what somebody's told me before. It's like, yeah, that's your grandma's paper.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, so you cut like a little piece of it off, and you tape it onto the metal plate, and you have your soot there so that when the animal walks over the soot, it walks onto your paper and it leaves tracks. And then you can collect those tracks, and I have a notebook of tracks. So what we would do to build a reference library of tracks is I had a longer tube that was 2 foot long that I would run them through when I captured individuals. That way we could be able to compare different species.
Cool.
So
And you all can see some of that when we get back.
yeah, I can pull that out.
Awesome. You caught a lot of old field mice, right?
A lot of old field, yeah, insane number of old. A lot more than what I thought of. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
To go off on a tangent.
Oh, no, it's good. That's what we asked for. Cool. Old field mouse. So, next question up there was this, and who's responsible for this?
Whitetail.
White-tailed deer. Cool. And what did you all say? So the options on the table were sort of roughly grouped into, was this young of the year, a year old or a little older than a year, or an adult? What'd you say? Adult. Great. How come? Wear pattern. Okay, so let's talk about wear pattern to start, because that is part of it. So, Jim, what did you see with wear pattern?
I just saw that the crown was worn through the enamel I put in,
Okay.
went down to the sure. So I don't know if there's a difference in baby teeth and adult teeth, because I know you recount.
Yeah,
And I figured that's
yeah.
what you recount.
I was showed how to do it by deer people, so.
Okay.
And the yearling has, so the third premolar has 3 cusps.
Yep, third premolar has 3 cusps,
yearling.
and the final premolar has not even yet erupted entirely. So what happens here, so just coming back to the cusping, and this will change depending on species to some degree, and also on diet. Like sometimes you might have things that have rougher forage that they're eating, so grind out differently or whatever. But you can look at the staining and how the enamel is wearing down. When you look at this, are these teeth still pretty sharp, or are they worn down enough? They're still pretty sharp. So is this an ancient doe?
No.
No. And yet it is a full adult. And one of the things that we're looking for when we have a fawn, they have 4 teeth. They basically got milk teeth. And so this tooth doesn't even exist, this little front one. And then that third premolar has 3 cusps, and they will be pushed out and replaced. In total, there will be 6 teeth, and there's different periods of time for different species where this is happening. But anyway, one of the things that we'd be looking for a fawn is just a different configuration of teeth, that that third premolar has 3 cusps instead of 2, and we can pass this around as you go, or if you'd like to look at this again. And then the fact that this last tooth takes a significant while to fully erupt. Sometimes it's like 2.5 years for elk or something. I can't even remember what it is, until it's fully in. 24 months. I don't remember.
I know for what I've been taught for whitetail
Correct.
is that by 2.5 you already have all 6 teeth.
All 6 teeth by 2.5. Great. So full adult right here, and those are the reasons why.
Or 1.5 you have all 6.
One and a half. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
So that's 18 months.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Sometimes some of them, like some of the ones in the UK, I think it might even the roe deer might be. They get all theirs by like 13 months, which is pretty impressive. One of those, I don't recall. But anyways, the point being with all of this is that it's a really cool thing just to be looking in the world when we're finding jawbones, which especially in predator country where we've got large carnivores, you find a lot of these types of things out there in the world. And or where you could find like in Alabama here, it's because of heavy hunting perhaps, you might find all this, and it's just kind of fun to see who an animal was when it left the world. Kind of neat. And then, lastly, who was the trail? Gopher tortoise. And then who was the hole? Gopher tortoise. Gopher tortoise. Pretty neat. There's a cool burrow and actually let's just sponsor right here.